He saved the universe with a snap. But what if that same genius mind became its greatest tyrant? Imagine Tony Stark not as the armored Avenger we love, but as the iron-fisted ruler of Latveria. This isn't just a wild theory. Marvel has already shown us multiple realities where Iron Man doesn't just fight Doctor Doom, he becomes him. The idea of Iron Man transforming into Doctor Doom has appeared again and again across Marvel Comics. Sometimes it happens through literal body swaps, sometimes through tragic loss that twists Tony's morality, and sometimes the difference between Stark and Doom comes down to one simple factor: where they were raised and what shaped their pain. The clearest example happens in the What If story titled Iron Man, Demon in an Armor, set on Earth 11029. In this universe, Tony Stark and Victor Von Doom are not enemies. They are college roommates. Two brilliant minds, two massive egos, living under the same roof, building the future together. But jealousy grows inside Victor. He watches Tony's wealth, privilege, and effortless charm. Resentment turns into obsession. Doom secretly builds a machine capable of swapping consciousness. In one calculated move, he switches minds with Tony and erases Stark's memory. Victor now lives in Tony's body, wearing his face, controlling Stark Industries. Meanwhile, Tony wakes up trapped in Victor Von Doom's scarred body, confused and powerless. But here's the twist that makes this story unforgettable. Even without his memories, Tony's core nature remains heroic. Using pure instinct and intelligence, he begins rebuilding Doom's empire into something better, transforming it into a philanthropic company. Victor, inside Tony's body, does the opposite. He corrupts Stark's legacy. He turns the company toward greed and manipulation. The world sees Tony Stark becoming darker and more ruthless. It's the ultimate identity reversal. Iron Man's face becomes a villain's mask, while Doom's body houses a reluctant hero. When Tony finally regains his memories, he faces a choice: swap back and reclaim his old life, or stay as Victor and redeem the Von Doom name. In a shocking decision, Tony refuses to reverse the process. He chooses to remain Doctor Doom, believing the Stark legacy is beyond saving. That story alone proves something powerful. The difference between Iron Man and Doctor Doom isn't intelligence. It's perspective. It's trauma. It's choice. And in other universes, those choices go very differently. Take Earth 5012, home of the terrifying Iron Maniac. This version of Tony Stark loses everything. An alien warlord named Titanus devastates his universe. His fellow heroes die. His world collapses. Grief breaks him. Instead of becoming stronger like the Tony we saw in Avengers Endgame, this Stark becomes ruthless. He upgrades his armor into something darker, with a green cloak and metal mask resembling Doctor Doom. When he arrives on Earth 616, heroes mistake him for Doom himself. That's how close their silhouettes become. Iron Maniac believes extreme control is the only way to prevent catastrophe. He embodies Doom's philosophy: peace through domination. In his mind, freedom leads to chaos, and chaos leads to extinction. Another extreme example appears in Earth 4777 during the Exiles storyline. This Tony Stark becomes known as the Iron Monarch. Unlike the conflicted Iron Maniac, this version is fully psychopathic. He orchestrates disasters across the globe just to justify consolidating power. He manipulates fear like a weapon. Eventually, he kills Victor Von Doom, not in self-defense, but as a statement. He takes Doom's iconic green cloak as a trophy and rules the planet as a technological king. This is Tony Stark stripped of empathy, amplified by ego, and fueled by absolute authority. Iron Man becomes emperor. These stories suggest a deeper theory inside Marvel's multiverse. What if Stark and Doom are archetypes that converge? Two genius inventors, both scarred by trauma, both obsessed with control. In some universes, Tony might be born into the Von Doom family. In others, orphaned in Latveria instead of raised in Malibu. Imagine a Tony Stark who grows up under Latverian dictatorship, surrounded by political manipulation instead of American capitalism. His brilliance would still shine, but his goals might shift. Instead of building suits to protect the world like he did after witnessing weapons in Afghanistan in Iron Man 2008, he might build armor to rule it. The transformation theme flips completely in Earth 616 during infamous Iron Man. After Tony falls into a coma in Civil War II, Victor Von Doom decides to change. Inspired by Tony's heroism, Doom creates his own Iron Man suit, blending Stark technology with mystical energy. He tries to become a hero. The world doesn't trust him. Heroes see only the tyrant of Latveria wearing a red and gold costume. Doom insists he wants redemption, but his methods remain intense and secretive. This role reversal proves something fascinating. Iron Man and Doctor Doom are mirrors. Each can step into the other's role. Now Marvel's current storyline, One World Under Doom, pushes this dynamic even further. Victor becomes Sorcerer Supreme and establishes United Latveria, a global state offering free healthcare, education, and outlawing war. On paper, it sounds utopian. Crime drops, poverty fades, nations stabilize under one ruler. But it's still totalitarian. Free will is limited. Decisions flow from one Iron Throne. And who resists this perfect world? Tony Stark. Operating from the shadows, using improvised armor and magical software patches, he becomes the insurgent. Iron Man fights not chaos, but enforced peace. The ideological clash reaches its peak. Then there's the cinematic side. With Robert Downey Jr. cast as Victor Von Doom in Avengers Doomsday, fans exploded with theories. Could Doom be a multiversal variant sharing Tony's face? The MCU already explored variants in Loki and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. One popular theory suggests a multiversal constant. Just as some universes always have a Peter Parker, perhaps some always produce a genius with Jay's face. In one timeline, he's Tony Stark. In another, he's Victor Von Doom. Same mind, different upbringing. Hero or tyrant decided by environment. Another theory connects to multiversal incursions. Doom might be hunting anchor beings to stabilize collapsing realities. Perhaps he inhabits or swaps minds with a Stark variant to survive. It echoes the Demon in an Armor storyline, bringing comic concepts into cinematic form. The most compelling idea explores nature versus nurture. What if this Doom is literally Tony Stark raised in Latveria? Imagine the genius who built the Mark I cave suit in Afghanistan instead building armor to overthrow governments. The cave scene in Iron Man showed desperation forging heroism. In Latveria, it could forge domination. Even crossover events hint at these fusions. In Amalgam Comics, characters merge into hybrids like Lex Stark, blending Lex Luthor and Tony Stark. In Infinity Warps, Stark fuses with Thor to become Iron Hammer. Marvel loves exploring identity convergence. Doom and Stark merging isn't random. It's thematic destiny. At their core, both characters fear helplessness. Tony witnessed destruction caused by his weapons and vowed to control his legacy. Doom witnessed humiliation and vowed to control the world. Both wear armor. Both hide scars. Both believe their intellect justifies drastic action. The line between them is thinner than we think. So how does Iron Man become Doctor Doom? Through trauma, through jealousy, through alternate upbringing, through literal mind swaps, through ego unchecked by empathy. The multiverse shows us that Tony Stark is only a few catastrophic events away from sitting on a throne instead of standing beside the Avengers. And maybe that's why this theory feels so powerful. It forces us to confront a hard truth. Heroes and villains can share the same face. The difference is the path they walk after pain changes them. In another universe, the snap doesn't save the world. It crowns a ruler. If you love deep Marvel theories like this and want more breakdowns connecting comics to the MCU's future, make sure you subscribe to FilmVerse Hollywood, hit that like button, and turn on notifications. The multiverse is just getting started, and the next theory might change everything you thought you knew.